So, yeah, let's see if we can resolve these things. Right, so now we're gonna put Coma away. Man, that was lucky getting that.
Reverse.
Right, okay, and then now we can blow up the field, and I think that might be game. Oh, what an ending. Beautiful. What if I told you that you could make a Teferi deck and it's not as toxic as you thought? Well, today's video is non-toxic Teferi tribal, and we're going to have most of the good Teferis. We've got Hero of Dominaria, you've got Who Slows the Sunset, Time Raveler, and you've also got the 4-mana 1 Master of Time. So that's the theme underpinning the deck, lots of control elements here. And this Teferi you've probably seen before, but if you haven't, you draw a card, then you untap 2 lands at the end step, which normally you'd hold up for counter magic, negates, and the like. -3, put something into its own library, third from the top, so it could be either player. This is obviously a really good way to defend himself. And then his ultimate says whenever you draw a card, exile target permanent an opponent controls. So we've tried to make the deck not toxic. Essentially, what that means is no counter spells, so you won't be able to find any counter spells in this deck. Of course, if you want to copy the deck list, feel free to put in your own, but at that point, it won't be as guilt-free as this one. This is like drinking Diet Coke. You get some of the taste, but just not all the naughty stuff or the sinful stuff, like the counters which stop people playing. It may drive you nuts, and maybe if we start using decks like this, maybe it'll force people to think outside the box, because honestly, you don't need counters to win. You just don't. It is possible to win without them, especially in control decks. You want to finish people off with, obviously, Teferi's ultimate, but if you can't get there, we also have an Imrith as well, which can beat people down. And even stuff like Torrential Gearhulk or Mordenkainen at the top end are sometimes big enough to just take your opponent out with just some huge creatures, which blue can make on the top end. Fill the deck with lots of board wipes to stop enemy aggro builds, and see how you get on. The deck list will be in the description below. Check it out. Leave me a like, sub. Also check out my new Twitter account that I've just made. Show your support on there as well. And yeah, let's get into the gameplay. Okay, so as it turns out, Magda is a high tier commander, and I don't dispute that whatsoever. I've been crushed by her quite a few times. I think it's probably because the treasures that come out just ramp so hard. Deafening Silence could be nice as a way to like nullify players who want to cast more than one spell per turn. It only stops people casting non-creature spells though, so can be good. They could just go for the Magda here, but I think if they do that, probably just going to board wipe, to be honest. As crazy as that sounds. They're going for the Thrill, so this is interesting. We're going to now be able to resolve a Teferi without any hindrance here. Oh no, don't have the double blue, do we? Okay, so maybe not then. Yeah, mine then taps the colours, doesn't it? Very hesitant to even cast the Magda here, probably because they are aware that we can just, you know, potentially counter their stuff. Hallowed Fountain. So this was probably a good chance for Imrith to come out. They're not going to be able to target him because it's got War 4. Basically has hexproof at this point in the early parts of the game. And against aggro decks, this is such a big blocker as well. Ward 4, yeah. Amazing. Seize the spoils. Although it does have Menace, to be fair. 2 treasures have been gotten here. So now's a good time for the Teferi to come out, I think. And yeah, we'll put this on the bottom of the deck because it gives them so much advantage here. 2 treasures.
Time is much more malleable than
Pretty crazy. And then yeah, we'll hold back because they've got the Faceless Haven that can attack if the player's Snowland. Yeah, the Deafening Silence here proving to be pretty cool. 7 dwarves, so they could play another one if this is a 7 dwarves build. Lightning bolt does the job.
This is hardly my
Okay.
worst.
Suppose it's not shooting us in the face, that seems fine. The longer the game goes, the better it's going to be for us as well. So yeah, now I suppose we just play Ugin and then we can just start making even more blockers.
I came into being long.
And leaving Imrith back as a blocker is just fine. I just don't see any issues with that at all. They have to be proactive. We got another Teferi on the manifest there. So if they kill this, that means that we get more annoying cards for them to deal with. It is interesting actually by not including counter spells if the tier of the deck actually lowers a bit, because I haven't, fingers crossed, faced Hell tier. So that's to say Prismatic Bridge and Golos, which makes me wonder how powerful Teferi is without counters. And I suppose this is more of a test. So I'm actually gonna, I feel safe here swinging in. If they kill it with a removal spell, that's fine. I'm probably going to shatter the sky anyway. We'll see what they do. And if they don't, we just make a blocker and everything's good. We get to draw a card with Imrith. High speed hoverbike comes in. Taps our blocker. Okay, sure. So we get to draw a card. Raven form. So remember, we can only cast one thing a turn. So we'll make a blocker. Unless it's a creature. We can do as many creatures as we want, but 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can just go for Teferi. Or we can go for this Teferi. We can basically choose. I think we'll go for this Teferi. Not really bothered with this swing with a 2-2, you know.
I won't hide from the world any longer.
It's a shame we don't have enough mana for the Castle Ardenvale, because that would have been another blocker. Yeah, not too worried at the minute. Oh, I see. They can crew. They can. Oh, I see. That's the gimmick, isn't it? They can crew this with the vehicle to get a treasure at any time. I thought it was an attack trigger, but it's actually a tap trigger. That's interesting. So the worst case scenario is they get a humongous dragon out. Okay, or artifact. So in this case, what would it be? It's pretty ridiculous, actually. So I suppose Immortal Sun would be bad. Paradox Engine combo, okay. Now the interesting thing here about Paradox Engine is we've got Deafening Silence, so they can only go for creatures. Interesting. And how many creatures are they going to have? And this card, in this kind of combo deck, who knows? So they're going to look at cards on the top of our deck, and they got Witness Protection as the strongest card, unless they want a land for any reason. So they can put that on the Imrith if they really want to. Although they've already cast an non-creature spell, so actually they've shot themselves in the foot here. It's kind of funny, actually. Well, I'll be interested to see how they get out of this situation. I think the Deafening Silence has basically won us the game. I suppose they can, like, if they have loads of creatures, they can just continually crew this over and over again, untap the crew, get loads of dragons, get loads of artifacts, but... Okay, so that's 4. So they can cast another creature, untap everything, crew this, get more things. Wow, okay. They got pretty lucky with the amount of creatures they have. So, I suppose the scary part will be if they have something that says all the creatures have haste. Because that would basically mean we're dead. Because if they don't kill us here, then we just kill them with the Shout of the Sky. And then I'm not sure what else they can do. Okay. So these are all dwarves. Oh, it's whenever any dwarf. That's mental. Okay. So how many more creatures do they have then? And also, if they sacrifice 5 treasures to get an artifact or dragon, it's not actually casting it, so nothing untaps. Interesting. When it enters, return a non-land permanent you control. So I think that's infinite now, isn't it? Yep. Because they keep returning that, untapping everything, and then I think they cast everything in their deck. Damn, that is so ridiculous that they got that. So what would that actually do, casting this infinitely? Not really sure, because they can just do this loop over and over again, but what does it really give them, you know? It just lets them untap all their stuff and play this continuously, but... yeah, I don't really know what this achieves here. So they get 4 treasures, replay the ancestral statue. I mean, yeah, there's some storm cards, but they can't cast any of them because the Deafening Silence has already worked with the you find some prisoners. So we're basically being trolled here. Well, I mean, they're not going to be able to cast any of these cards now. So, well done. Can't cast that either. Cool. Well, now we know the now we know what their deck does, and they can't really do much else. So yeah, put your Deafening Silencers in, guys. It really helps against these kind of pretty evil decks. Goldfishing. Somehow they still haven't had their timer go down, which I find crazy. Are they just going to quit here from being salty? Okay, so they're just going to hold the timer. Wonderful. Okay, so what we do first is we're going to alpha with everything. Because we're going to use this Shatter the Sky. Now, once we Shatter the Sky, I'm not sure how they come back. And if they start... If the Facebreaker blocks this 2-2, we get the Teferi. It's going to be even worse for them because we can then cast a Shatter in their turn. Down to 11. So they've got a lot of balls, thinking that they're going to get another turn. So we're going to put a stop in their upkeep because we've got this instant speed here. Shatter the Sky. Might even just see a concession here. So we sat through all that for nothing. Right. We get some cards to hand. So sadly we can't play the Cold Steel Heart. Make a blocker. And then draw another card. So yeah, we're going to kill the engine in their upkeep. So that's why I've got the stop there. Pass the turn. We can untap some more things. Discard 2 cards. Fine with me. We'll get rid of land and the ramp, I think. Right, and then in their turn, we can use this. So we want to kill 3 things. And now we can show them who's boss. And there shouldn't be much they can do because this is instant speed. And, yeah, serves you right. Sorry, but if you're going to be a dick, play decks like that. Oh, that felt really good. We go first against Kinnan. We don't have any responses until turn 4. So I'm going to mulligan this. It's just too slow. This is a bit better. This is actually quite a bit better. The Authority is going to be nice to slow them down. Yeah, just cards we just didn't see there. Not being able to play any spells till turn 4 is flipping suicidal, really, against Kinnan deck. They're probably going to play a Mana Rock every turn or Mana Dork. 60 for Mind Stone. Next turn, Restoration of Arkanjo gives us a Plains. So we don't have any blue mana, which is scary, but we do have Doomscar. Tangled Hedron, okay. finally, sure. So we've got some land. Let's get even more with the restoration here. So this is a wonderful setup. And then next turn we can just go for the Doom Scar if we need to. Okay, so they're going to have 1, 2, 3 mana open. Esper Sentinel. So if we discard this search, we're going to get to put that into play, which is pretty epic. And they've got 3 mana open. They've got a counter spell, haven't they? I'd rather counter the Teferi than the actual board wipe, so we'll give them Teferi here if they do have it. We'll put it into the library, that's fine. Don't mind waiting to get that, because we'll just draw that next turn, and then it might make them rethink what they're going to do, because they know Teferi's coming up. Circle of Dreams Druid. Okay. 2 mana open still. Put that into our hand. So now we have a blocker, which means that our board wipe doesn't look so good for us, so they might think, maybe we'll let that through. Hit a land. Let's foretell this, so we can sneak that on them and go for the Esper Sentinel as well. We've got some really good defensive cards. They can't really add more mana to the field without bouncing onto the hand with the Conundrum, so the Circle of Dreams Druid does add a heck of a lot. So this adds 4 mana so far. Coma. Oh, jeez. This is definitely not good. So now we're going to want a Teferi bounce the Coma, or put the Coma into their field. Put the land in the graveyard. It's just not good enough right now. So we're probably just going to lose the Teferi here, but priority number 1 is getting rid of the Coma.
I'll show restraint.
Do they have hexproof? I feel like they've got a way to give it hexproof. Okay, so they're going to tap the Architect.
Let's take it back.
That's interesting because it also means they lose the 3/3. So let's make them put loads of resources into killing Teferi. If they want to kill Teferi, they're going to have to attack with at least 1 creature. So we'll see. So they attack with Kinnan. Just Kinnan. So that's worth just blocking, I think. Yeah, that's fine with me. 3. So they can just use Kinnan here, which is fine because we've got Doomscar. Although if they get back the... So they've got Coma back. Oh, that's so irritating. They're going to be able to just continuously... Let's draw a card with a Mind Stone here. Getting a bit desperate. This Coma, we need an answer immediately. Spark Double. That could be it. That actually could be it. Pardon me. Let's draw a card. Yeah, Spark Double Doomscar. I think
Keep up the pace.
that helps us a lot. So, yeah, let's see if we can resolve these things. Right, so now we're going to put Coma away. Man, that was lucky getting that.
Reverse.
Right, okay, and then now we can blow up the field, and I think that might be game. Oh, what an ending. Beautiful. Opponent goes first with Golos. Our starting hand is... I feel like the gods are looking on us today. We've got Rule of Law versus Golos. This is going to be amazing. If we can keep this alive, they won't be able to utilise their 7 mana ability. Because I'm pretty sure it says exile top, you may play them without paying the mana cost. So playing... No, oh actually that's interesting. So playing means basically put into play without casting, doesn't it? So actually... Defender, prevent all damage. So they still get abilities. So I think we just go for the Maze Mind Tome here. Yeah, that's a shame, because I could have candle trapped it if it removed abilities, but this particular enchantment does not do that. It's still very good against attackers, though, especially red. Red decks and black decks. So they're going to swing for 2, then they're going to search for land, put it into play. Interesting ramp spell in Golos. Surely they just have more stuff like just 2 mana, put land into play, but oh well. Yeah, let's go for Rule of Law here. And clearly they're just going to sack the Dawn Treader Elk because they played a tap land anyway. So next turn they can go for Golos. So we're not going to have too much time to defend ourselves. But at the very least, the Rule of Law may stop them doing something. Not sure what. Yeah, it's a shame the wording is just not quite good enough. So they come in, they get a land. Now, Teferi can come in eventually and deal with him temporarily, but he pays for half of his command attacks, so that's why Golos is so insanely good. Let's scry here, because we are starting to panic a little bit. Raven form will slow him down. So yeah, let's Raven form the Golos here. So at least he can't use that 7 mana immediately in the next turn. Not really sure how we're going to deal with this deck. Can't cast more than 1. I'm starting to doubt myself now. Does Rule of Law stop them playing spells? Yeah, because it doesn't say cast them. But is the act of playing casting? You know? Is that the same thing? Like, I know you play a land, and you can, let's say you can play a Rule of Law, but is a result of playing a card casting it? Maybe someone in the rules could tell me the ins and outs of that. Would be interesting to find out, actually. So they can't cast anything else there. Let's go for the key to the archive here. Might get countered, but Revitalize, interesting. Revitalize, that's... So, I think Day of Judgment seems legit. And I'm going to get rid of the... Actually, this can actually... Yeah, let's exile the Candle Trap there. Yeah, so we can only use the exile ability if we have creatures with 3 or more different powers. So, here comes Golos again. So essentially they're going to be able to cast Golos for the rest of the game. Yeah, it's definitely one of the toughest ones to deal with, just because of the value that Golos gets by doing the 7 mana ability. It's like, it's more than 300% output, it feels, because you've already paid to get the land in, right? So 5, 7, 9 mana, whatever, to get the land in, and a body. So by paying the 7 on top of that, you're getting, like, it just feels absurd, the amount of extra value. I feel like their hand is just loaded with disgustingly powerful ultimatums and stuff. See, we can't cast that, but we can draw a card with Maze Mind Tome. So, as usual, they're probably just going to go for Golos again, because clearly it's the best thing for them to do here. I don't know why they shocked that Stomping Ground in, but who knows. Yeah, that was an interesting move. Maybe there was a reason to have 2 mana up, but let's see what we can do here. So, yeah, we'll try Teferi. Do they have a counter? Okay, let's try and hide him away then. Assassin's Trophy. So the trophy gives us a land, so we can also cast Teferi again next turn if we really want to. And their Golos is actually still tucked away. So that delays him for a bit. I mean, they can just replace his the ability by putting him into the command zone. Oh, if we made him shuffle now, that would be funny. Archon as well stops players casting stuff. Oof, Ravager Worm. So we don't have any lands that they can destroy, so it's just straight up. They just chose to destroy a land. They have to kill their own land now. That is quite the mistake, isn't it? Oh, you see, too much hubris there. So, if we go for Teferi again, try to tuck the Ravager. Dovin's Veto. Okay. I mean, there isn't any rhyme or reason to their deck right now. It's just random stuff. But there you go, that is just what Golos kind of is, right? It's random stuff, the deck. And there he is on top. I mean, maybe the Rule of Law is doing well, but it's hard to tell, really. So if they flicker this... Okay, they're going to go for the Magma Opus. They did that. That's instant speed. Do they realise that? Okay, so you go for the Teferi here. Another counter, perhaps. Okay, let's see. So it would be nice to double spell here, obviously, but the Rule of Law is stopping us. We'll go to the Archon, seeing as that can't block either of them very well. So we're looking for a board wipe, aren't we? We've got the answer for the Golos this time as well. So let's see who they go for. If they kill Teferi, that's fine. We still get to draw a card here. They're choosing to... Okay. So we can just phase out the Ravager Worm, I suppose.
Oh, you'll get
that's interesting. If they wanted it to die, they would have double attacked. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7. So they can just straight up activate Golos here. Yeah, we're definitely going to lose this game. Actually, if we go for two things... We could kill the Rule of Law, but then we'll be opening up ourselves. Yeah, let's just do it. Because I'd like to be able to... I'd like to be able to double spell. And this might force them into just paying 7 here. Imminently. And we'll see how it works with Rule of Law if they do that. So it's intriguing for me. Okay, they don't choose to do it. That's very curious. They had the 7 mana, right? They had white, blue, black, red, green. Yeah, they did. That's interesting. Why did they do that? So they'd rather go for these awful spells. Okay. Let's see if it's worth it then. So they'd rather empty their entire hand. I'm not really sure if ramping this hard was really worth it, to be honest. Oh well. We're still going to die to the damage anyway.
You love a good puzzle.
So, get rid of this. So we want a blocker, don't we? So we want Imrith. We need to borrow time on the forest, I suppose. Have they got another counter here? Okay. We'll pay that. Oh, we can't choose the forest. I guess we'll choose the elemental. Okay. So now they play Golos and they can't afford to use the 7 mana ability. So, very peculiar indeed. Yeah, that is a bit odd. Because they could have done this last turn. They could have got 3 random things. Yeah, I mean, we're getting our asses kicked, but not because... I don't feel like because of skill level. I just feel like because their deck is just kind of easy mode, right? Let's draw a card before anything we decide. Get rid of the
Ideas
land.
like seconds are fleeting.
And yeah, I think we let him die because Imrith can draw us potentially 3 cards here.
This was
So we're looking for yet another board wipe. I mean, if we come back from this, it'll be an absolute miracle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. They cannot use Golos here. Land. So go Midnight Clock. So we're damned if we do and damned if we don't. So I think we're just going to have to attack. Get 2 cards. Board wipe? No. Okay. So we'll go for the Teferi. And I think that's it, isn't it? So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, yeah? So even if we get rid of their 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, that's 10 damage. So we can't get rid of the forest. So the most we can get rid of is the worm, but that's still not going to be enough. Because that's still 10 damage coming through. So we might as well get rid of the Golos.
you need to take a time out.
And yeah, we lose to just, you know, mindless deck. There you go. I don't think there's anyone out there who could say that using Golos is hard. But there you go. The game versus Golos.
I'll have a better plan next time.
Lovely. Opponent goes first with Golos again. And yeah, that's just the way the cookie crumbles, sadly. We do have a lot of answers for it. As long as we hit the mana, could be okay. We can kill one of the mana rocks if they do have one. Interesting. Looks like they've got priority, so they might have counter spells here, or some form of draw. Lantern comes out. Now, if we get to play turn 4 Teferi, we might have a chance. But until then, we're going to have to deal with their counter spells. I feel like they're going to have some here. Solemn. So, fingers crossed we get a land, which we don't. How do we establish the field? I guess we'll go for the apparition, just exile the Solemn. They've already gotten the advantage here, but oh well. We have the answer to Golos with the swords. Now they played it untapped, which is interesting. Do they have a counter spell here? So does that mean this is a wash away then? Could be. Now that would be annoying because we've got Teferi potentially coming up soon. Is it a wash away? We'll find out. We'll find out very soon. It's going to be, isn't it? It's going to be one of the blue. One blues. No, okay. That's kind of crazy, actually.
Any longer. Hold that thought.
Holding priority on that ability, that's interesting. Have they got a lightning bolt? So now we even have the mana up for the Teferi's Time Twist, which means if they do try and kill him here, we can protect him potentially. Here comes a Kenrith. Now they give him haste, and they attack Teferi. Okay, interesting. Let's see where they go. So we'll try to flicker him here, which would invalidate the target, but oh, that's cool. So no, we do not want to put him in the command zone because that means that he won't come back from exile there. So Teferi comes in with an extra counter.
Trust me, you'll thank me later.
Let's draw a card because we want to keep up the
For a break.
lands each turn. So we've got 6 mana. Let's use the lantern here because we never know what's going to happen. Yeah, let's go for the prison realm. Let's see if this can resolve. We want to get rid of the Kenrith for now. Now, obviously, they could just easily destroy this prison realm. Land on top. And yeah, I'm happy to leave the defender up just in case they get something with haste or kill the prison realm and give something haste with Kenrith. Now, we don't run any counters, so we are just making them scared at the minute, and you know, there is value in that. Clearly. And now we have Ardenvale. It means we've got mana sink, which means that the mana that we didn't use on a counter is giving us a blocker, which is awesome. What are they waiting for? Okay, so let's draw a card. Now clearly they want to kill Teferi. That's pretty obvious.
We need to move quickly.
They keep holding priority for some reason. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what they have. I mean, it could be a kill spell. 1, 2, 3 mana. There's all sorts of spells that screw us over. Ruinous Ultimatum. The Sultai, basically any ultimatum kind of does a lot of work. The Wanderer may protect us from damage-based spells as well. And once again, we're just going to pass a turn. No need to do anything too brash here. And then we're keeping up the 3 mana up as, like, you know, fear factor, which has merit in its own right. Sometimes just being a blue player is enough to put people off. Solve the equation. Now, could be anything. We're about to find out. Is it a board wipe? Is it an ultimatum? See, a Ruinous Ultimatum, I think we just lose, to be honest. River's Rebuke. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, so they chose to play that tapped. That's interesting. So let's draw the Teferi. So we're going to lose all of our stuff. Okay, fine. Can we at least get something good to retaliate with? Man, they keep holding priority. It's so irritating. So yeah, let's draw a card of the Mind Stone, seeing as that's going to come back to hand anyway. Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yeah, we can get a land with the Warhound. Ramping is always good. Once again, holding priority for... I don't know what, it's really frustrating. And we could revoke the Guardian Idol, but currently it's our only way of dealing with the Golos, so... Yeah, I mean, if they spend their entire turn using the Rebuke, then that just means we can redeploy everything again. I mean, yeah, they'll get back the Kenrith. They'll get back the Kenrith. And it will be annoying, but 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, they're not going to be able to get much use out of it. They're going to be able to stop Teferi getting to ult, which is important. But we can just redeploy all of our stuff. And obviously, they'll have to pay 1 for the Sentinel, so that lessens their mana a bit as well. They're going for the Dark Ritual, which is always terrifying because they've already got so much mana. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Interesting. I wonder why they went for the Ritual there. River's Rebuke. So we'll tap this for mana before it enters our hand. Okay. And then they have 5 mana open to do whatever the rest they want to. So now a board wipe would be really good. So they've got 5 mana. They can... Not really sure what they want to do here. They could have revived something. They can draw a card. So the trample is going to be irritating. But maybe we can block... Oh, okay. So they can see the Arden Veil there. Yeah, so we take 9. It's always so grindy against Golos as well. Like, there's never just a clean victory. So they're keeping all that mana up. We'll see what they're going to do. Portable Hull. Okay, let's think about this for a sec. I think if we... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, we shouldn't have played that land. Oh well. At least it means that we can... So we get the Sentinel out. We'll try the Prison Realm. So we'll try and get rid of the Kenrith this way. If not, we can go for the Wanderer. So all they wanted to do is draw a card. I feel like that Dark Ritual was... I suppose Dark Ritual in that instance said cycling. Land. And 3, 4, 5. We could go for Teferi. Is that safe? I mean, we're going to have to do something eventually, aren't we? We're running out of... We're really running out of time, to be honest.
I'm known for my excellent timing.
Yeah, let's just draw a card here.
Let's skip to the good part.
Shatter, okay. Shatter's going to be nice to, you know, get rid of all their crap. If they choose to spam the field more. I think we'll get rid of the Chromatic Lantern and the Candle Trap. 2 of the least exciting cards in hand. Rebuke is one of the best things they can do. Ruiner's Ultimatum, probably second best. Here comes Golos. So the Shatter's looking even better now. Temples. Okay. And it doesn't have trample, so we can block without any hint, without any downside, to be honest. Ooh, another Teferi. So first things first. Let's try and shatter. So they will draw a card because of this. Sweet, so that resolves. Fantastic. Now we can draw an extra card.
Hurry!
Spark double. Wowzers. Do we just get 2 Teferis? Okay. 2 Teferis. We untap 4 lands on end step. Now we don't have any instants in hand, which is pretty annoying, but we can go for... So this deals with Golos, so we don't want to get rid of that. We'll just play a blocker. So this can potentially block the Guardian Idol. Gets us a land. So because they're playing 2 lands a turn, the Loyal Warhound is pretty cool. So we're one off being able to use the Arden Veil here. 2 Teferis. The Kami War, so they're going to be able to kill a Teferi. Well, we still have another Teferi, I suppose. 5 mana, they can return up to 1. So that's 2 removal spells in 1. Yikes. Exile target non-permanent. Okay. So we're going to want to deal with some of their crap here. Fateful Absence, that's nice. So that will make us return something and then just each opponent discards a card. Okay.
Let's skip to the good part.
Take Judgment. So what's next on the agenda? Well, I think we want to use Skyclave on the key because the revoke hits the Golos. So get rid of that. We could just go for the Teferi again. Or we could... Actually, you know what? We're just going to exile this. We don't want to... That slows us down so hard when they bounce something. Get rid of all their resources. Extra Teferi time.
If I don't have a plan, I'll just make one up. Time to
Witness
improvise.
Protection. Now that works on the Golos. So I think... We'll get rid of the Baffling End. That's the most limited... Yeah, these games are always a beast. It's like, it's beyond normality. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Golos is just, yeah, I don't know. They have all the answers, so everything you do is kind of just like, yeah, it doesn't feel powerful. I've exiled 2 really good cards in my turn, but I feel like for every 2 things I exile, I'll have 4 more powerful things. So there is that feeling of futility. Forsaken Crossroads in a 5-colour deck. Never been a fan of this. It only adds 1 colour. I'd rather have any other dual land over this. I know you can describe it. I'm not sure that's that important. In a 5-colour deck, you want to have lots of variation of mana. Now they're looking in our graveyard, so what does that mean? Not really sure. The card pool is so huge now that it's getting harder by the week to... Frozen Grip. Returning Camera. Okay. What creature do they have? Got a couple of creatures there. Let's see if we can kill the Kenrith. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wow, we just beat Golos by killing the Kenrith. Bit odd, but there you go. There you have it. Don't forget to check out more of my videos and also my Ko-fi donations page. You can donate as little or as much as you want.